Morning Atlantic. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western PEI is once again going to be closed for the day. Details just ahead in your news headlines.
And the Mole-mobile. It comes to the Maritimes. We'll take a look inside the traveling clinic that offers free skin cancer screenings across the country. That's in our 7 o'clock hour.
Plus clothing inspired by the beauty of the ocean. We'll check out a local apparel line that's celebrating life on the East Coast. All that and so much more just ahead on the Friday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. 6:01, 6:31 if you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And not only did you make it through the week because it's Friday, but you made it through the month because it's the end of the month.
Yes.
Wow. Right? July
31st.
July 31st. August 1st tomorrow.
Then the long weekend. We have Natal Day on Monday. Lots of celebrations taking place. Ahead of that, we've got some closures as well. Keep that in mind. More details coming up in the news because we do have a bridge closure in the Halifax area this weekend.
So do some walking instead.
And you can do some walking on the bridge as well.
And it's going to be decent weather.
It is. We do still have precipitation ending off the work week, but into the weekend, we will be seeing the return of sunshine Saturday afternoon into Sunday.
Perfect.
Yeah, can't complain.
Can't complain because it's a long weekend. So, you know, sometimes there's some rain. There's always going to be some rain on a long weekend.
We are in the Maritimes, so
yeah,
makes sense.
this is true. I feel like it's like across Canada, though. Like, I feel
absolutely.
like it's not just in the Maritimes. Like anytime there's a long weekend, it's like, haha, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the good thing.
Weather not always cooperating.
Yeah.
Well, we also see too, like sometimes it seems like the gas prices go up ahead of a long weekend. Right. Guess what?
Yes.
They are down.
Oh.
They are down slightly. I'll have those numbers in just a moment.
Absolutely. All right, well, as you can see from our live eye, it is a bit of an overcast start to the day. We are expecting a bit of precipitation to move across the Maritimes and Newfoundland and Labrador as well. So in terms of our forecast today, a chance of showers. Temperature is still quite warm early this morning. We are feeling that mugginess still remain across the region. 18 degrees in Halifax this morning, 17 in Charlottetown as well as into Fredericton, 9 degrees in Labrador City, and 12 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a lace wet wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island for early this morning. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. A risk of thunderstorms also expected with that precipitation today. A chance of showers and or drizzle to start your day, and also going to see Newfoundland, Labrador seeing precipitation as well. And then in terms of our wind forecast, it's going to be a breezy start to the day at least, tapering off into the afternoon. As of right now, 67 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 35 into North Cape, 24 in Sydney. Wind gusts getting up to 81 right now in Grand Etang, 35 in both Bathurst and Sydney. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western Prince Edward Island is going to be closed. The emergency department in Alberton's hospital only just reopened Thursday, but it will be closed again today due to a temporary staffing shortage. The closest ER is about an hour away at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside. Health PEI says call 911 in an emergency or 811 for medical advice. The ER is expected to reopen for regular hours on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. In Halifax, one of the harbor bridges will be closed on Sunday. That is August 2nd. The McDonald will be off limits to vehicles from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. This is to accommodate the 1-mile harbor hustle run in the morning and the bridge walk in the afternoon. It's all part of Natal Day weekend events. The McKay Bridge will remain open. For the most part, you'll be paying a little less to fill up at maritime pumps ahead of the long weekend. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 2 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.90.6. Meantime, diesel increased by 6.2 cents. The minimum price now $2.39.2 a litre. In Prince Edward Island, gas slipped by 1.7 cents. The minimum price now just over $2. Meantime, price of diesel did not change on the island. It rests at a minimum price of $2.44.3. And in New Brunswick, gas fell by 0.9 cents. The maximum price now $1.92. $1.6, and diesel decreased by just over 4 cents a liter. The maximum price now $2.44.5. The average Maritime Electric customer on Prince Edward Island will see an uptick in their power bill next month as the utility seeks to recover costs from Hurricane Fiona. Maritime Electric, which provides roughly 90% of the energy on the island, sought approval from the Provincial Regulatory and Appeals Commission to recover the costs of restoring power after the 2022 storm. The total cost is roughly $41.2 million. Last month, the commission ruled Maritime Electric could recover 90% of the Fiona restoration costs from customers. A rate adjustment will go into effect tomorrow. The commission says the average residential customer will see a 3.1% cost increase per year until the Fiona expenses are fully recovered. Police in Halifax are currently looking for a motorcyclist accused of intentionally hitting a rider on an e-bike in a crosswalk. This is the video where it shows a motorcyclist headed onto the McDonald Bridge last Thursday night. But before he gets on, he turns around and drives directly into a man on an e-bike. They collide and the motorcyclist drives off. The e-bike rider, who does not want to be identified, spoke with CTV News and says he sustained injuries to his back and wrist.
I was in such shock. Like, all I knew was that I just got hit. And I was like, the hell, and then this guy's taking off. Like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do.
What we know about the bike is it was a sports bike, a black sports bike with a tan side panel. And all we know about the suspect right now is it's a white male.
Halifax police can't say for certain whether the incident was targeted or random. And we have an update to a story we brought you earlier this week. People in a rural area of southern New Brunswick fear an aging bridge is compromising their safety. But as CTV's Derek Haggett tells us, a solution is now being promised.
Trucks from the Sackville Fire Department can't travel over the Peck's Cove Bridge because the aging structure's weight restriction has been reduced. The bridge is the only way in and out of the tiny community of Rockport, leaving about a dozen homes without emergency services. Today, the mayor received confirmation from the province a solution is on the way.
They are going to put in a detour bridge, and it's going to be put in before 2026 is over. So this is in the process.
The province says the modular bridge will have a capacity of 43 tons and will be able to accommodate emergency vehicles.
It is happening, or I assume it's happening, and that's great because it should never have gotten this far, in my opinion.
And I'm so relieved to know that at least by the end of this year, we'll have fire protection and ambulances. They had told us ambulances wouldn't be able to cross before, but now they can.
The mayor says there is a well-prepared contingency plan until the new bridge is up and running.
The municipality of Tantramar has dropped off 3 large containers, about 3,000 litres of water, at the end of a side road here in the area, just in case the Sackville Fire Department needs to access water.
I'm delighted that they have extra water out here and that they have a vehicle to use it, and that's all a big plus.
The mayor also says the Department of Natural Resources and the Emergency Measures Organization have the area on a high priority list. No repairs are currently planned for the old Peck's Cove Bridge. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Rockport, New Brunswick.
Thanks, Derek. And seeing that report that was filed yesterday, of course, you can see just how much rain we received.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's a little wet out there.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Derek.
Poor Derek. But we appreciate him for being out and about.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the owners of a bell foundry in Austria are embracing new technology to restore the bells. They've been casting bells for churches and cathedrals for more than 400 years and are one of the few remaining bell foundries anywhere in Europe. These days, they're assisted by 3D printing, scanning, lasers, and computer simulation apps. But, of course, they still pour the molten metal. Since demand for new, enormous bells isn't huge these days, well, they spend a lot of time repairing old ones.
Now, that is a specialty.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Do they ever get tempted, though,
To just
make just one ring
one ring.
when they're melting? You see when they were melting
Yeah.
everything?
One ring to rule them all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One ring to find them.
Yes.
One ring to bind them all. And then, or
In the darkness, bind them. Yes.
Got you. I'm there with you. Don't you worry. Lord of the Rings, shout out.
Lord of the Rings. All right, classic. Okay, we're going to have our first break here. Still ahead, we'll have the latest on the potential WestJet strike by flight attendants happening later this weekend. That's when the strike deadline is. We'll have the latest on that, what you need to know. Plus, Latavia has the full look at the Friday forecast as we take a live look. Can you see where we're looking at right now? Can you tell it's a little foggy? That is the Halifax waterfront. The forecast is next.
Good morning and happy Friday. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Moncton. An overcast start to the day. We are expecting fog, drizzle, showers in your area. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Currently 17 degrees. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. As of right now, it is 16 degrees heading outdoors in Sydney. 18 starting off your day in Halifax. 17 in Charlottetown as well as into Fredericton. Cooler this morning in Labrador City at 9 degrees and 12 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Holding on to that late sweat wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island early this morning. Could see wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. A wet day ahead for much of Atlantic Canada. Make sure to allot some extra time out on your morning commute. We are seeing visibility an issue for parts of the region due to some heavier fog. Early this morning, showers and or drizzle. A risk of thunderstorms expected into the afternoon for the Maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador also dealing with shower activity. A risk of thunderstorms as well. This wet weather will continue into the afternoon and evening and taking us into early Saturday morning, starting off the day with a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms before clearing, leaving sunshine for the Maritimes into the afternoon. If you are wondering about precipitation totals, we are going to see a bit of accumulation from this system. Heaviest being 5 to 10 millimeters for northern New Brunswick. For eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island looking at around an additional 10 to 20 millimeters. And for Labrador, going to remain quite light today. 10 to 20 millimeters expected for parts of Newfoundland. For forecast today, remaining below seasonal for our daytime highs yet again. Daytime highs will range from 18 degrees up to 23 in Grand Manan. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms is expected today. Wind gusts getting up to 40 this afternoon. For Prince Edward Island, daytime highs between 21 degrees in Surrey up to 22 in Charlottetown, 19 degrees in Tignish. Isolated showers expected throughout your day today with a risk of thunderstorms, and wind will pick up as well into the afternoon with gusts of 40. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs between 21 to 25 degrees being the warmest to the Truro. Isolated showers throughout your day today, a risk of thunderstorms as well. Pretty light wind expected. For the rest of Nova Scotia, daytime highs between 21 to 23 being the warmest into Kentville and Halifax. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms sticking around throughout your day today as well. For Labrador City, a high of 27 degrees today, so quite warm for your daytime high. Mainly sunny skies expected early in the morning before showers arrive into the afternoon. 15 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at showers and or drizzle expected throughout your day today. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. You'll want to check your flight plans if you're booked with WestJet. Thousands of travelers could be facing delays just hours from now as a potential strike by workers or a lockout by the airline is set for Sunday. CTV's Kathy Lee has more on whether a deal can be reached before the disruptions begin.
For many WestJet passengers, a looming strike means today's trip comes with a question mark. But people like Sampreet Chima and his family are still taking off.
We're actually headed to San Diego.
Unsure if their return flight will stay on course.
Our dates are like right in the middle of the potential strike.
As bargaining continues, the union representing about 4,400 flight attendants has issued a 72-hour strike notice, while the airline has responded with a lockout notice of its own. In a statement, WestJet's CEO saying, "We sincerely regret the inconvenience and uncertainty this continues to cause for our guests." The union planned a press conference but canceled, saying in a statement, "Unfortunately, the parties are still too far apart on some key issues." Flight attendants voted 99% in favor of a strike mandate earlier this month. Wages, unpaid work, and working conditions, the major sticking points at the bargaining table. Issues similar to why Air Canada flight attendants went on strike last year for 3 days. This labor relations expert says despite today's escalation, there's still time to reach a deal.
It's really not uncommon at all to see these kinds of situations resolved with an agreement at the 11th hour.
About 75,000 passengers a day could be impacted. While a strike could begin as early as Sunday, some flights could start being grounded as early as tomorrow unless a deal is reached. But some travelers are taking it in stride.
A little bit of panic, but you know, we're going on vacation anyways. A few extra days doesn't hurt.
The strike and lockout notices come a day after both sides agreed to a wind-down plan, which outlines the details of how operations would be scaled back and how crews would be returned if there is a work stoppage. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, check, and check again. Across Canada, reported cases of disease from ticks are on the rise. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth shows us why the bugs are of particular concern in Nova Scotia.
When George Fox walks in the park, he always checks his body, hoping to avoid a tick bite.
It's news you don't want to hear.
His fears are valid. There has been a noticeable increase in tick-related diseases in Nova Scotia.
Like anaplasmosis that are transmitted by the same tick.
Anaplasmosis is a bacterial infection that can be treated with antibiotics and is passed on to humans from tick bites.
More like a flu-like illness. So fevers, muscle aches, headaches.
Dr. Paul Bonner says over a 2-year period, starting in 2023, the number of cases for anaplasmosis doubled in Nova Scotia, jumping to 600 reported cases last year.
It does put more strain on the system. So certainly important for folks to recognize these illnesses themselves and seeking early care.
Biochemist Nicoletta Ferroni says ticks are spreading anaplasmosis, Lyme disease, and the Powassan virus. The number of reported tick-borne illnesses combined with recent mild winters and hot summers allowing ticks to thrive points to an increase in the black-legged tick population, which can carry dangerous viruses.
Is it because the tick population is actually increased over time? Yes, but it's also the more passive surveillance that we are seeing. So people that are actually looking for ticks, they're find them, and then they're sending them for testing.
Which allows experts to have a general idea about the rate of increase for the tick population in Nova Scotia.
You can see that there is an exponential increase.
Using Health Canada approved spray repellent and checking your body and pets for ticks is the best defense to avoid bites and possible illness. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Paul. A quick break now. When we return, we'll have your top business headlines, plus your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
There you have it. Time now to check in with our friends at TSN for today's must-see moment.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. Fort will head to the World Junior Summer Showcase. Finland taking on Canada, third period. Canada on the power play. A scramble ensues. Caleb Desmonier with a great chance, but Yester Rossi comes up with a huge stop, flashing the leather. One of his 26 saves on the night. Finland would go on to lose to Canada 5-3, but Rossi still earns your must-see moment from Thursday. Tonight on TSN, we've got Friday Night Football as the Alouettes visit the Red Blacks. It all starts at 7 p.m. Eastern across the network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
And on the markets, the Dow ended the day up 613 points. We are deep into earnings seasons with businesses share a financial update with investors. So BNN Bloomberg's Mirella Fernandez has more on that.
Apple reported earnings after the end of the trading day. The iPhone company reported revenue of just under $110 billion U.S. for its latest quarter. That is 16% better year over year. Mac sales were up 29%, iPhones up 22%, but sales in China are slowing and missed the estimate, which could be why investors sent the stock down in after-hours trading. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar's up to 71.41 U.S. West Texas Intermediate's down to 83.67 U.S. a barrel. Western Canadian Select up over $5 today to 67.17, and the TSX gained 172 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Kicking off the long weekend in New Brunswick, 21 degrees today with scattered showers expected across the province. 24 on Saturday, starting off the day with a bit of shower activity for parts of the province, clearing out, leaving sunshine. Heating up to 27 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia, 20 degrees today, scattered showers and a risk of thunderstorms. Early in the morning on Saturday, we do have a bit of precipitation that will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 22. Warming up to 25 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. For Prince Edward Island, 20 degrees today, isolated showers and a risk of thunderstorms. Scattered showers start off your day on Saturday, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 21. Warming back up, seasonal to 26 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. Time now is 6:26. We'll be right back after this.
Coming up this half hour, all the different ways to eat lobster. Do you like it in a roll, in mac and cheese? Tell us your favorite. We'll tell you ours. That's coming up in the Move Morning Chat.
To all the lobster fishers out there and all the fishers we have in the region, we are grateful for you, because if it wasn't for all their hard work, we wouldn't have the impeccable seafood that we do here in Atlantic Canada, and that the seafood that we ship outside of the region as well, so people can enjoy a taste of home. I find, like, once you have seafood here and then you go somewhere else to have seafood, it's not the same.
No.
It's just so fresh.
Highly embarrassing. My biggest place to go, it was Red Lobster in Toronto.
Highly embarrassing.
Yeah, and then when I moved away, I was like, oh, that isn't a thing here.
No, I don't think there's ever been a Red Lobster in Atlantic Canada. I mean, I could be wrong on
there
that.
shouldn't be.
No, yeah.
No.
You can literally go to any restaurant. It's funny, anytime I go home or go somewhere, people are like, oh, like, do you want seafood? And I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
Like, what? No, I only want seafood back home.
It's fresh. Like, you know the person who caught it.
Yeah, right?
You can literally get it from, like, people selling it on the sides of the roads. You're like, yes, fresh.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yes, get it at the airport, too. On
It's
your
like,
way.
take it with you. Do you know how many times I've gotten on a flight and people are bringing lobsters with them?
Oh, absolutely. My grandma did that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because, like, why wouldn't you? You know, it's a 2-hour flight. Who cares?
Perfect opportunity.
I had lobster in my purse one night, and, you know.
You had lobster in your purse one night? Yep. Did you put, like, the whole lobster, or was it just the meat? I have a lot of questions.
No, it was 2 lobsters.
It was 2 lobsters?
In my purse, yeah. And a bottle of wine, maybe.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You were going somewhere
Lobster
fun.
on the go.
I was leaving, actually. I was leaving a lobster boil. They gave us 2 lobsters, and I could only eat 1. But I wasn't going to waste a lobster.
Absolutely not.
I took them with me, and then we decided that it would be a really good idea to go see Liz Rigney perform. And so I brought the lobsters with me to the bar.
Lobster on the go.
And then I made lobster rolls the next day. My first time ever making lobster rolls.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. They're still fresh.
They're still fresh.
I had to take the lip balm out. A couple dimes in there.
All right, well, we're taking a live look at Quarter Brook. 13 degrees to start your day, mainly cloudy skies. We are expecting a few showers to move in your area a little bit later on this morning, so be prepared before you head out. Starting off your day, it's feeling quite muggy, especially in the Maritime region. 18 degrees right now in Halifax, 19 in Yarmouth. Starting off your day, it's 16 degrees in St. John, New Brunswick, 17 in Charlottetown with 10 degrees in Labrador City, 12 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a lace wet wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island for early this morning. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. Still holding on to precipitation for much of Atlantic Canada today. Showers and/or drizzle, a risk of thunderstorms for Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. In terms of our wind forecast, starting off a bit breezy, will become light into the afternoon for parts of the region at least. 52 kilometers per hour right now in Grand Etang with 37 into North Cape, 19 in Canso and in Bathurst. Wind gusts getting up to 78 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 28 in Bathurst. We'll take a look at your long weekend forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And we have some news you can use ahead of the long weekend. In Halifax, it's important to note that one of the harbor bridges will be closed on Sunday. That is August 2nd. The McDonald will be off limits to vehicles from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. This is to accommodate the 1-mile harbor hustle run in the morning and the bridge walk in the afternoon. It's all part of Natal Day weekend events. There will also be 12 overnight closures of the McDonald Bridge for the month of August. Meantime, the McKay Bridge will remain open. Staying with motorists, for the most part, you'll be paying a little less to fill up at Maritime pumps ahead of the long weekend. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 2 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.90.6. Meantime, diesel increased by 6.2 cents. The minimum price $2.39.2. In Prince Edward Island, gas slipped by 1.7 cents. The minimum price just over $2 a litre. Meantime, price of diesel did not change. It rests at a minimum price of $2.44.3. And in New Brunswick, gas fell by 0.9 cents. The maximum price $1.92.6. And diesel decreased by just over 4 cents a litre. The maximum price now $2.44.5. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western Prince Edward Island is once again going to be closed. The emergency department at Albertins Hospital only just reopened Thursday, but it will be closed again today due to a temporary staffing shortage. The closest ER is about an hour away at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside. Health PEI says call 911 in an emergency or 811 for medical advice. The ER is expected to reopen for regular hours on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. After a number of serious crashes in and around Fredericton, the RCMP is urging drivers to pay attention to the road this long weekend.
One fatal crash is one too many. So we urge the population, where's people on the road, to be careful, to put down the cell phone, observe where you're going, and make sure that you are aware of your environment.
There have been a number of serious collisions and fatalities in and around Fredericton in the past 2 months. That includes a 2-vehicle crash on the Princess Margaret Bridge in May, where 2 women died and a third had serious injuries. Then earlier this month, a 3-car accident on the Westmoreland Bridge left traffic backed up for hours. Ambulance dispatchers in Nova Scotia remain on the picket line, striking over pay and staffing levels.
It's a job that takes an emotional toll, it takes a physical toll, and if you combine the stress inherent in this job with the fact that our wages have not kept up with the cost of living, then what you get is high turnover and low retention.
A worker starting at EMC Comm Center makes $23.77 an hour. That's about $52,000 a year. At the RCMP Public Service Answering Point, a started worker makes $72,000 a year. So that's a $20,000 an hour a year difference.
These medical dispatchers work with 911 operators to send ambulances and proper resources to emergencies, and they've been on strike now for almost 2 weeks. Because it is an essential service, there is a contingency plan in place, meaning emergency calls are still being picked up. The employer, Emergency Medical Care Incorporated, declined an interview request with CTV News, but in a statement said all EHS essential service delivery and operational requirements will be maintained throughout the labor disruption. Focus continues to be on delivering safe, high-quality care. A wildfire burning on the outskirts of Riverview, New Brunswick, has now been declared fully contained and under control. Crews have been battling this fire off Pine Glen Road since Tuesday night. On Wednesday, the town of Riverview said no homes were in danger. Water bombers and nearby fire departments have been involved in the operation. Flames consumed roughly 6 hectares of wooded area. Finally, Canada is expected to get Canada is going to get its very first surf park. It's not on the East Coast, though. You'll have to head over to the West Coast to see it. Here's a look at some of the concept art. So a Spanish company called Wave Garden has built 13 of these man-made enclosed surf parks all over the world, and now their sights are set on Canada. Specifically, British Columbia's Sea to Sky Corridor, which is already known for outdoor adventure. Construction on the surf park will begin next spring with a planned opening in 2029. Isn't that neat?
That's cool. That's neat.
Yeah, Canada's first surf park.
Well, there you have it.
I know, look at that.
You could go surfing in the ocean right beside.
Yes, you could.
However.
You could go surfing in the, you can just go to the ocean.
Yeah.
Like Lawrencetown Beach is a good one. That's where the surfers like to go.
That's where the surf. Every time I go to Lawrencetown, there's always someone surfing.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Maybe the water, though, at one of these man-made surf parks would be a little warmer.
Oh, yeah. Warmer schwarmer. Give me the real thing. Give me authentic.
Yeah, you want to taste that salt water in the mouth.
Exactly, when you get tumbled over in a wave, you know? Good times. So it was a special moment for Blue Jays star reliever Louis Varland earlier this week.
A very nice moment down on the field. Louis Varland's older brother, Gus, who was sent down to AAA a couple of weeks ago, was recalled today. And the Varlands, with a whole bunch of family here, that's Dad Wade in the middle. I mean, have a better day if you're a mom or a dad or a brother, sister, uncle, aunt, whatever. The Varland boys are both in the big leagues playing against one another and doing the lineup card exchange at home plate.
Yes, Varland and his brother Gus exchanged their team's lineup cards before a game in Washington earlier this week. Gus, as said by the commentators, was sent to the minors a few weeks ago, so there was some concern this pre-planned moment wouldn't happen, but the Nationals did the decent thing and called him up in time for an unforgettable moment for their entire family.
Aww.
Yeah.
I think it was the dad wearing both jerseys.
That's always my favorite. There is the Kelsey brothers, the Hoseks in the NLL. So Graham, who plays for the Thunderbirds, his brother plays for Saskatchewan, and the dad will always wear the jersey of the home team and the hat of the away team. So there's just like, there's so many traditions, and I love to see it.
That is truly when everyone's a winner for their family, right?
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Still ahead, we're going to have your entertainment headlines from Hollywood, but before that, we're going to go talk about lobster. We love to eat it. We know you do too. We're asking, what's your favorite way to eat it? We want your recommendations next.
Good morning and happy Friday. The time now is 6:43. We're taking a live look at Summerside. Overcast early this morning. Expecting a chance of showers to move back in with a risk of thunderstorms on and off throughout the day today. So in terms of our current forecast for our current temperatures, 18 degrees as you head outdoors in Halifax, 19 right now in Yarmouth, 17 degrees in Moncton as well as into Charlottetown, 10 early this morning in Labrador City, and 12 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a laced wet wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island. Will end a little bit later this morning, but we are expecting wind gusts to get up to 100 kilometers per hour. So a soggy day ahead, quite muggy early this morning for the Maritime region. We are seeing overcast skies as well as fog patches early on. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms will continue across the Maritime region, specifically a risk of thunderstorms for Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Newfoundland and Labrador going to deal with some wet weather as well. Showers and or drizzle expected throughout your day today. Into the afternoon, much of the same is expected. A chance of showers ranging from 30 to 60% chance of it happening. That will continue into tonight. Temperatures remain quite warm for our lows, but we are going to see fog develop yet again and precipitation continuing into early Saturday morning before clearing out, leaving sunshine for the Maritime region. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, the heaviest being around 5 to 10 millimeters for the northern region of New Brunswick. For eastern Nova Scotia, parts of Cape Breton Island getting up to 10 to 20 millimeters. Pretty light indication across Labrador expected, and 10 to 20 millimeters expected for parts of Newfoundland. Daytime highs for New Brunswick remain below seasonal today, ranging from 18 to 23 degrees being the warmest into Grand Manan. Scattered showers expected throughout the province today, and wind picking up with wind gusts of 40. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 19 degrees in Tignish, up to 22 in Charlottetown. Isolated showers with the risk of thunderstorms expected today, wind gusts getting up to 40 as well. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a wet day ahead with a low chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms. Daytime highs between 21 to 25. For the rest of Nova Scotia, pretty much the same. Scattered showers and a risk of thunderstorms expected throughout your day. Light wind with highs between 21 to 23. For Labrador City, we are looking at some wet weather into the afternoon. So starting off with a bit of sunshine, a high of 27. Showers moving in into the afternoon with 15 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Showers and a drizzle expected throughout your day. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. Welcome back to another edition of the Move Morning Chat with Aaron and Peter. This morning we're talking about food, specifically lobster. We want to know, how do you take your lobster? Aaron, Peter, tell us. Give us all the details.
Of course we're talking about food, but yes, lobster. So I was saying to Peter that I am obsessed with lobster rolls right now. I'm on like a lobster roll tour. I need to find the best ones. However, the way we eat our lobster came up in conversation because this week I was at a restaurant in Halifax and they have lobster pizza and lobster garlic fingers on their menu. And one of my friends ordered them. I tried the garlic fingers. It was amazing. So just throwing it out there, that is a new way to eat your lobster. I don't think Peter's too into that, though.
Not so much, no. I'm not. I like lobster. I like lobster a lot, but I'm very specific here. I'm a real kind of texture person when it comes to foods. And I love lobster tail. And I would eat lobster tail any opportunity that I get, cooked any way at all. Of course, dipped in butter. That's kind of classic. But the claws, look, you can have all the claws, okay? You can have all of my lobster claws. I don't like the texture of that part of the lobster.
Really?
So for one particular part of the lobster's body, and I know exactly where it is.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, listen, you can't go wrong with lobster around here, no matter where you are on the East Coast. Of course, if you are in New Brunswick, maybe make Shediac a priority and take a photo next to their giant lobster statue there. That could be fun. Or in Barrington, Nova Scotia. But I'm with Aaron. I just love a good old-fashioned lobster roll. And I'm going to say something a little bit controversial about lobster. I love it in many ways. Like Peter said, dipping it in garlic butter. I have to tell you, I am a bit of a baby when it comes to how the meat is presented. I'm not good at cracking the lobster open. I want someone else to do that for me and just present the meat ready to eat with a fork. I don't like working for the food that way.
Okay, so I'm the same way. I used to eat lobster. Like, my mom is a big lobster gal. She loves lobster. So she would kind of break it up and give me pieces when I was growing up. I don't really like lobster.
Really?
Yeah, I find as I'm an adult, I was like, oh my God, I love lobster. And then I was like, it's kind of too fishy for me. I'm more of a crab girl, but I do like lobster grilled cheese.
Lobster grilled cheese?
A billion of those, yeah. So when I first moved here at the Atlantica Hotel, we had to do some quarantining. Our apartment was like a disaster when we first got here, so we had to go to the hotel. And I ordered a lobster grilled cheese, and I probably had a billion of them before I left. And I still go there to get them sometimes.
Okay, so it's still on the menu.
Absolutely. So that's the one kind of way I really enjoy lobster.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we got to know. We're drooling talking about lobster. We want to hear from you at home. How do you enjoy your lobster? And in particular, where should we go to get lobster? What should we try this summer? Send us a text at 10400. If you haven't texted us yet, what are you waiting for? We are waiting to hear from you. We'll share your answers a little later.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. It is 6:53, so let's take a trip.
Let's do it.
Going to...
I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man: Brand New Day officially swings into theaters today. Tom Holland steps back into the role of Peter Parker for the first time in 5 years. This time, he's fighting crime in a world that no longer remembers him. Zendaya, John Bernthal, and Sadie Sink of Stranger Things fame round out the cast for the Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios film. Disney is the parent company of Marvel Studios and ABC News.
Hello, there was a stop sign. I totally paused.
As If, Clueless is coming to TV. Paramount Plus has greenlit a sequel series starring and executive produced by Alicia Silverstone. The new series finds Cher Horowitz 30 years after the events of the 1995 film as she navigates parenting a teenager of her own. The series begins production next year. Real-life drama for George Clooney and his family. The Oscar winner says they've been forced to evacuate their home in southeastern France due to a nearby wildfire. In a statement, Clooney expressed concern for the community and committed to helping it rebuild. And Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling is celebrating a birthday today. She turns 60. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Murphy's Logic is brought to you by Kent Building Supplies. Look what we've built together.
The opinions expressed in this segment are solely those of the commentator. They do not purport to reflect the opinions or views of this station, CTV News, Bell Media, or its employees.
And today in Murphy's Logic, Steve has some thoughts on the many e-bikes and e-scooters we see on the streets these days.
They're not exactly the self-balancing hoverboards that were foreseen in the second Back to the Future movie, about 40 years ago. But e-bikes and e-scooters have become common sights on our 21st century streets, and they are moving people around almost as quickly. Well, it's not much wonder. They're fuel efficient, relatively inexpensive, and widely available for purchase or rent. They're an economical, convenient alternative, particularly in the cities where there's too much traffic and not enough places to park. But they come with few, if any, licensing requirements. Although the regulations for e-bikes vary from province to province, the federal government has set 500 watts as the maximum output for a motor and 32 kilometers per hour as the maximum speed for a power-assisted bicycle. There are no federal guidelines for e-scooters, and regulations on their use vary by province and city. As these devices become more and more popular, it's important that we standardize the rules governing their use. While it's unlikely that 10 provinces and 3 territories and scores of municipalities will agree on every aspect of their regulation, they should be able to agree on the basics, the age at which they can be used, and where, on the streets, or sidewalks, or in bike lanes, and with helmets. There should also be standards for insurance on e-bikes and scooters, including the need for some sort of liability insurance. At the moment, you may or may not be protected if you're involved in an incident that causes injury or damage to yourself or someone else. That's what many motorists and pedestrians are now worried about. Who's responsible if there's a collision, and who pays? And finally, whatever rules are in place need to be well publicized and enforced. And that needs to be done right away, because where e-bikes and e-scooters are concerned, we're already Back to the Future. I'm Steve Murphy.
It's Friday, July 31st. Today on your Morning Atlantic, Halifax's McDonald Bridge will be closed for a portion of the long weekend. We'll have the details just ahead in your news headlines.
And did you know skin cancers are more common than breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancers combined? We'll check out the mobile clinic that's helping with early detection and prevention. That's in this half hour.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. You've officially made it to Friday, kicking off the long weekend.
We love this for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Any long weekend plans?
No. Rest.
Rest and recovery.
Exactly.
Rest and relax. So many. I always overplan.
Yeah. It's not that. These are both very on brand. These are very on-brand weekends.
Oh my gosh, seeing friends, making plans. A new Spider-Man movie's coming out with Tom Holland.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh,
are we taking Jake?
Still need to see the Odyssey. He's not a huge one into superheroes, I'll be honest. You know what we are probably going to see is the Minions and Monsters movie.
Honestly, not mad about that.
Yeah. Cthulhu making an entrance. Awesome.
Yeah. Also,
we scary for me.
We love us some Minions.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I said to him last night because it was rainy. His father, my husband, I got to clarify that. Was working last night. And I said, well, we should go see a movie. And he goes, yeah, but like Dad's going to miss out on the fun. I don't want Dad to miss it. What if Dad wants to see it? And I was like, I don't know if he's going to miss the Minions movie, but
he might.
We'll wait. We'll wait for him.
Aww.
Yeah.
He may.
I'm sure it'll be a fun time.
He may.
He may.
Who knows?
Introducing the kids to Lovecraftian vibes. It's awesome.
That's true. And he has read the Lovecraft books. The husband, the father, the elder.
Yeah, the elder.
Not the younger one.
The elder.
The elder. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, so I'm just going to smile and
H.P.
nod.
Lovecraft, yeah.
Classic horror writer.
Yeah.
All right.
The OG.
All right, well, as you can see, a beautiful start to the day in Bedeck, a bit cloudy, but still seeing some sunshine in behind those clouds. 17 degrees as of right now. We do have a low chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms expected to move in. Muggy this morning for the Maritime region. In terms of our current temperatures, 18 degrees as you head outdoors in Halifax, 17 in Fredericton, 12 in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to a wind warning for parts of Cape Breton Island until a little bit later this morning. Showers, drizzle, and fog for much of the region. A risk of thunderstorms as well for parts of the Maritimes. And in terms of our wind forecast, 37 kilometers per hour this morning in North Cape, 52 in Grand Etang, 19 in Canso. Only one wind gust at this time, getting up to 78 in Grand Etang. We'll take another look at your long weekend forecast, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And in Halifax, one of the harbor bridges will be closed on Sunday. That is August 2nd. The McDonald will be off limits to vehicles from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Now, this is to accommodate the 1-mile Harbor Hustle Run in the morning and the Bridge Walk in the afternoon. It's all part of Natal Day weekend events. There will also be 12 overnight closures of the McDonald Bridge for the month of August for repair work. The McKay Bridge will remain open, but motorists are being advised to expect some delays. Police in Halifax are currently looking for a motorcyclist accused of intentionally hitting a rider on an e-bike in a crosswalk. This video shows a motorcyclist headed onto the McDonald last Thursday night. But before he gets on, he turns around and drives directly into a man on an e-bike. They collide and the motorcyclist drives off. The e-bike rider, who does not want to be identified, says he sustained injuries to his back and wrist.
I was in such shock. Like, all I knew was that I just got hit. And I was like, the hell, and then this guy's taking off. Like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do.
What we know about the bike is it was a sports bike, a black sports bike with a tan side panel. And all we know about the suspect right now is it's a white male.
Halifax police can't say for certain whether the incident was targeted or random. A man is dead after a pickup and motorcycle collided in Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley. The crash happened Wednesday night on Highway 12 south of Kentville. RCMP say a Chevrolet Silverado truck and a motorcycle collided. The biker, a 19-year-old man from nearby Forest Home, died at the scene. The driver of the truck, a 47-year-old Ontario man, was hurt and taken to hospital. Police are still looking into what caused the crash. Meanwhile, after a number of serious crashes in and around Fredericton, the RCMP is urging drivers to pay attention to the road this long weekend.
One fatal crash is one too many. So we urge the population, where's people on the road, to be careful, to put down the cell phone, observe where you're going, and make sure that you are aware of your environment.
There have been a number of serious collisions and fatalities in and around Fredericton in the past 2 months. That includes a 2-vehicle crash on the Princess Margaret Bridge in May, where 2 women died and a third had serious injuries. And earlier this month, a 3-car accident on the Westmoreland Bridge left traffic backed up for hours. For the most part, you will be paying a little less to fill up with gas at Maritime pumps this long weekend. Starting with Nova Scotia, Zone 1, the Halifax area, gas fell by 2 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.90.6. Meantime, diesel increased by 6.2 cents. The minimum price now, you'll see in just a moment there, $2.39.2 a liter. And in Prince Edward Island, gas slipped by 1.7 cents. The minimum price now just over $2 a liter. Meantime, price of diesel did not change. It rests at a minimum price of $2.44.3. And in New Brunswick, gas fell by 0.9 cents. The maximum price $1.92.6 a liter. And diesel decreased by just over 4 cents a liter. The maximum price now $2.44.5. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western Prince Edward Island is once again going to be closed. The emergency department at Alberton's hospital only just reopened Thursday, but it will be closed again today due to a temporary staffing shortage. The closest ER is about an hour away at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside. Health PEI says call 911 in an emergency or 811 for medical advice. The ER is expected to reopen for regular hours on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Finally, to waters across the pond. Rubber ducks took over the water in London as part of a fundraising event. Love a good duck drop. Thousands of these rubber ducks were launched onto Regent's Canal, the waterway that runs through the middle of London. Participants sponsored these ducks with funds going to Cosmic, which is a UK-based charity that supports babies and children in intensive care.
Then what do they do with the ducks?
What
put them in people's jeeps?
Do they do with the ducks? Put them in where?
People's jeeps.
Put them in their jeeps?
Yeah.
You never heard of this?
No.
You've never seen it? People always have ducks lined up in their jeeps.
And sometimes people leave them on your car.
Yeah,
and there's been so many reports on this.
You trade ducks on people. Yeah, other Jeep drivers will leave like a.
Yeah, we'll pull that up for you.
Yeah. So that's what they're going to do with those ducks.
Show that to me.
Yeah, we will show that to you. And we're also going to show you our contest winner. Because it's time to announce the winner of our Kent Bid Bucket giveaway for July. You may recall this prize was the Broil King barbecue worth more than $450 hairs. So the winner is Arnold Godso of Fredericton. Congratulations. We love this for you.
A brand new grill.
And we'll all be over for a barbecue.
Yeah, we're coming, Arnold.
Yeah, it's a good weekend to start barbecuing, so, you know.
Ooh, just in time for the long weekend.
Exactly.
How nice is that?
Fire it up. Yep, we'll meet you there.
I wonder what our next big bucket prize is going to be for August.
Ooh, we'll have to wait.
Until then, Arnold, enjoy your new barbecue. Congratulations to you. Okay, still ahead, Latavia has a look at the forecast on this Friday. Plus, I'll have a look at your national news headlines. Plus, later this half hour, we'll have details on free skin cancer screenings. There is a mobile skin cancer screening unit. It's driving around Canada, and it's here on the East Coast. We're going to visit them. They're in our parking lot right now. But before that, we're taking a live look at beautiful Bedeck this morning. And Latavia has your forecast. Plus, we'll have your campfire conditions on this Friday morning.
Good morning and happy Friday. The time now is 7:13, taking a live look at a bit of an overcast start to the day in Corner Brook. 16 degrees to start your day and feeling a bit muggy across parts of the region. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. 18 degrees to start your day in Halifax, 19 in Yarmouth, 17 right now in Fredericton as well as into Charlottetown, 18 in Happy Valley Goose Bay, 12 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Holding on to that lace wet wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island early this morning. Could see wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. A foggy, cloudy start to the day, as well as a wet start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. So be prepared for that when you're heading outdoors. We do have a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for parts of Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. New Brunswick seeing a very low chance of shower activity today. Newfoundland and Labrador going to see some wet weather as well. A chance of showers expected into the afternoon. Into this evening, wet weather continues. A chance of showers will remain in the forecast. A risk of thunderstorms taking us into early Saturday morning. Another wet, Foggy start to the day, clearing out though for the Maritime region, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. But if you're wondering about precipitation totals, the heaviest being 5 to 10 millimeters for northern New Brunswick. We're looking at 10 to 20 millimeters for eastern Nova Scotia, parts of Cape Breton Island, and Labrador remaining quite light, but we do have some accumulation for Newfoundland, heaviest being 10 to 20 millimeters. For a forecast today for New Brunswick, below seasonal daytime highs headed our way, ranging from 18 degrees up to 23 in Grand Manan. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms is expected for Prince Edward Island. Looking at some isolated shower activity throughout your day today. Highs will range from 19 to 21 degrees in Summerside and Charlottetown, wind gusts getting up to 40. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a very low chance of some showers expected throughout your day today. A risk of thunderstorms as well. Light wind out of the northeast at only 20 kilometers per hour. And highs ranging from 19 degrees in Canso up to 26 in Truro. For the rest of Nova Scotia, a bit of wet weather as well. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms throughout your day. Daytime highs between 21 degrees in Digby up to 24 in both Kentville and Halifax. For Labrador City today, a high of 27 degrees. Starting off the day with sunshine, seeing showers arrive into the afternoon. 15 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Showers and or drizzle expected throughout your day today. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell.
And this is the Campfire Conditions Report brought to you by Pine Acres RV, where customers become friends, and we're seeing the beneficial effect of having some rain and some showers in the region after being closed for campfires for much of this week. Campfires are now allowed in the province of New Brunswick. For the province of Nova Scotia, most counties are allowed to have a campfire between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. Few exceptions in Cape Breton County, Richmond County, and Victoria County. There, you can have campfires between 7 p.m. and 8 a.m. And for Prince Edward Island, campfires are currently allowed with domestic brush burning allowed between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. The next update to those provincial restrictions will be at 2 p.m. on July 31st.
Thank you so much, Kaylin. Airports are warning passengers about the potential travel disruptions that could start today. So what do you need to know if you're booked with WestJet? CTV's Alison Bamford has the options available and the protections in place.
A busy morning at Saskatoon's airport. Passengers are checking into flights, hoping their trip home won't be canceled.
If it is, we rent a car and drive back to Saskatoon. As simple as that. I mean, I'm not worrying about it.
Others aren't risking it. The Mescal family is flying to Ontario, where they were supposed to meet their daughter, who's flying in from Montreal.
We had sort of alternative plans designed and thought through just in case there is a strike.
And now they're going with Plan B. They canceled their daughter's flight and instead will drive to pick her up, hoping to avoid any flight disruptions. WestJet is offering free cancellations and one-time changes to all passengers booked between today and August 4th.
If they are able to move their dates, it's best to do so, just in case the strike does happen. It just makes it easier for the clients and for WestJet.
One air passenger rights advocate has different advice, recommending travelers stay put until WestJet cancels their flight.
Once they cancel your flight, you have far more rights.
If WestJet cancels flights, they're required to book passengers on the next available flight, including competitor airlines, or they must provide a refund. It's the passenger's choice. If these cancellations happen preemptively before the strike, passengers are entitled to even more.
They have to provide you meals and accommodation and a lump sum $1,000 compensation, up to $1,000.
The Saskatoon airport encourages passengers flying with WestJet over the next few days to reach out directly to the airline if they require assistance. The airport says they do have plans in place to limit any potential disruption. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Thank you, Alison. We're going to have a short break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll head out to our parking lot where there is a mobile skin cancer screening unit. Those details just ahead.
Welcome back. Behind me is the Mobile. That is a mobile cancer screening unit, and it's been put on by Melanoma Canada. It's traveling across the country, bringing free skincare screenings to people who might be facing long time waits or access to dermatologists. So let's head in, because our guests are inside avoiding this weather. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Okay, perfect. So here to tell us more about it is CEO of Melanoma Camera, Failing Cats, and dermatologist Alana McAvoy. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we'll start with you. Why is this necessary and how does it work?
So it's necessary because melanoma and skin cancer incidence rates are on the rise in Canada and around the world, and we have a huge shortage of dermatologists in Canada, only 800 for 40 million people, plus leaving many practicing in major communities, leaving those in remote areas just simply without access. So yeah, that's why we're here.
Fair enough. As a dermatologist who practices in this area, how do you feel about something like this coming into the region?
I think it's a great initiative. I mean, it's been across the country for years now. This is the first time in Atlantic Canada. We definitely have a shortage here, as Phelan alluded to. We're seeing tons of skin cancer, melanoma, non-melanoma skin cancer, so certainly an opportunity for people to access us.
What's the difference between a cancerous mole and a regular one?
So there's a couple things that we look for. The most important thing really is change in any mole, or evolution. Sometimes we say there's sort of the A, B, C, D, E's of melanoma, which is what we talk about in terms of changing moles. So things that are asymmetric, irregular borders, lots of different colors, usually 2 or 3 colors, bigger than the end of a pencil tip, and then again, change is the most important thing in terms of a melanoma skin cancer.
Okay, so how preventable is melanoma skin cancer in Canada?
Melanoma, 80% are caused by UV rays from the sun or artificial sources like tanning beds. So really highly preventable. So we talk about the 3 ways to block the rays. So sunscreen. So you want to look for something that's an SPF, ideally 50 or higher, UVA, UVB, broad spectrum, covering up, so broad-brimmed hats, UV protective sunglasses. They have great UPF apparel, so UPF apparel or a thick woven fabric, and getting in the shade. So peak UV hours in Canada between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., so shade is really important.
Okay, so this is a beautiful unit. Makes me feel like comfortable and like I'm in a doctor's office officially. So what's the process for people who are looking to participate?
So it operates like a walk-in clinic. It's a first-come, first-serve. So we'll be at Walmarts across the Atlantic over the next couple of months. So come on out, fill in some paperwork for us. If you have a mole or a lesion that you are concerned about, Dr. McAvoy just described the ABCDEs of melanoma. So if you've got something that you are concerned about, come on out and see us. And yeah, the dermatologist will take a look.
Perfect. So if I were a patient and I wanted to get checked out, walk me through it.
Okay, so you can have a seat here, and then essentially we would ask you which spot in particular you're worried about today. So let's go with that one there. Okay, so then I'm going to look at it, and then I'm going to use my fancy little dermatoscope here, and I'm going to have a closer look at the pigment network, which is nice and normal, so no concerns there. So for that one, I would say you're okay. I could do a brief check of just the areas I can see, but we're not doing full skin checks on this unit, just with the volume that we have to get through. And then I would tell you that that mole's okay, give you a little bit of direction with sun protection. And then I can fill out this sheet here, which essentially says what mole that we looked at. And I could tell you if we saw any potential skin cancer lesions found or if it was just a benign mole or nevus. And then off you go.
Amazing. It's so quick and simple.
It's very simple, yep. And if there is anything to worry about, then we obviously do document that. We're not removing any moles on the unit itself, but we'll make sure that you're set up with the dermatologist going forward to have that dealt with.
Perfect. Okay, and then quickly here, because I have about 10 seconds, if people are looking for more information, where do they find you?
Molemobile.ca is our website, so you can go on, put in your email address, and you'll be notified when we're in your community.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for being here and showing us this today.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break and be right back after this.
Just ahead this half hour, marking Emancipation Day, the CEO of the Black Cultural Center speaks about events happening in Nova Scotia this weekend. That's coming up on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, hi, how are ya?
You made it. It's Friday. It's also July 31st. Just like that.
End of July already.
End of July already.
Really neat, though, that mobile clinic is traveling around the region. Like, that's huge.
Yeah. And like Dr. McAvoy said, it's been around Canada for a number of years, but never been to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice that we're having this opportunity to experience it. It's actually cool inside. Like, it feels like a doctor's office.
Which is awesome, yeah.
It is neat. And I was looking at the locations that they're going to be at, because sometimes we'll hear East Coast, but it doesn't go to Newfoundland and Labrador, but this one is.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Make
that's
room on the
wonderful.
ferry for it.
It's on the road again.
On the road again. Yeah, we had a few people running out being like, before you go, can you just
check?
Might as well since you're here. Yeah.
A little peeky poo.
Yes, the freckles that come through. So, you know.
That is good news.
Yep.
Yeah. Really, really good news. Glad you got it checked.
Yeah.
Bit of relief there.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, we're going to talk about the weather now. It's a bit of a muggy start to the day across the region.
Yes, my hair is growing
this morning. Yes, I can't get a gel cast to save my life on this hair.
No.
Yeah.
Ponytail.
Ponytail for the win.
Yeah. So as you can see here, overcast to start your day, 17 degrees early this morning, and we are going to see humidity factor in today for the forecast. We are seeing temperatures quite warm to start your day for parts of Atlantic Canada. We do have wet weather tracking across the region as well, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. Here's a look at our current temperatures. 18 degrees in Halifax, 19 in Yarmouth, 13 degrees in Edmundston, as well as into Labrador City, 12 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Holding on to a wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island early this morning. And here's a look at that wet weather tracking across Atlantic Canada. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for parts of the Maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador seeing some wet weather as well today. And in terms of our wind forecast, a bit breezy for parts of the Maritimes. As of right now, it is 26 kilometers per hour into North Cape, 13 in Grand Etang, 15 in Sydney, 17 in Canso. One wind gust getting up to 31 in Grand Etang this morning. We'll take another look at your long weekend forecast, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. And we begin in Halifax, where one of the harbor bridges will be closed on Sunday. That is August 2nd. The McDonald will be off limits to vehicles from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. This is to accommodate the 1 mile harbor hustle run in the morning and the bridge walk in the afternoon, all part of Natal Day weekend events. There will also be 12 overnight closures of the McDonald Bridge for the month of August. The McKay Bridge will remain open. At the pumps, for the most part, you'll be paying a little less to fill up ahead of the long weekend. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 2 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.90.6. Meantime, diesel increased by 6.2 cents. The minimum price $2.39.2 a litre. In PEI, gas slipped by 1.7 cents. The minimum price just over $2 a litre. Meantime, price of diesel did not change. It rests at a minimum price of $2.44.3. And in New Brunswick, gas fell by 0.9 cents. The maximum price now $1.92.6 a litre. And diesel decreased by just over 4 cents a litre. The maximum price $2.44.5. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western PEI is once again going to be closed. The emergency department at Albertins Hospital only just reopened Thursday, but it will be closed again today due to a temporary staffing shortage. The closest ER is about an hour away at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside. Health PEI says call 911 in an emergency or 811 for medical advice. The ER is expected to reopen for regular hours on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Maritimers know all too well you don't have to go far to be without cell coverage. It is an issue that's on the mind of many, with recent emergencies putting a spotlight on the problem. The Nova Scotia government is working on it, but is it fast enough? CTV's Callum Smith has more on that.
A cell phone is a lifeline to stay connected to family and friends, but it's also vital in case of emergencies. However, the phones only work as well as the service allows.
I wouldn't get through if it wasn't for Wi-Fi here, and nobody in this area would. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you're probably not getting a call out.
That's Brian Myers, who spoke with CTV News earlier this month after encountering an armed man in Chelsea, Nova Scotia, the suspect of an emergency alert the night before. But when he saw the man walking along the road,
I had to drive at least 2 minutes down the road before my 911 call would go through.
He's not the only one. Coverage concerns were top of mind for some local mayors this week at Premier Tim Houston's tour stop in Bridgewater.
If you draw a circle that's 1 minute outside of Bridgewater in every direction, there's no cellular coverage. And so just kind of joining forces and recognizing that we need some improvement in rural cellular coverage, which he talked about.
It can feel like you're on an island, especially when SOS is all your phone will display. This was near the now under control Mooseland Road wildfire outside Sheet Harbor. The Nova Scotia government says it's improving cell service, expanding coverage to 20,000 homes and businesses and 1,000 kilometers of primary roads. As far as the carriers, Rogers will have 10 more cell towers working this year to hit a total of 27 promised in a deal with the province. Eastlink spent $500 million on its mobile network over the last decade. For customers stuck roaming, connection can't come soon enough. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
And in a statement last night from Bell, the owner of this network, a spokesperson said Bell continually evaluates how best to optimize and expand our wireless footprint to meet customer needs. In 2026 alone, Bell has planned more than $20 million in funding for approximately 50 projects within the Halifax Regional Municipality and a 150-kilometer radius, with a focus on capacity upgrades and site densification. While Bell continues to invest in its wireless network, expanding coverage in some rural and remote areas can be challenging through private investment alone. Finally, a zoo in Prague has found an effective way to keep its polar bears cool during a scorching European summer heat wave. The two polar bears wasted no time cooling off. You'll see in just a second. They'll end up rolling around in beds of ice cubes. This is in the outside enclosure. It's a timely treat with highs hitting around 38 degrees Celsius. So if it's hot for us, imagine how hot it is for them. Zookeepers say the ice is also a stimulus for the bears to engage in some physical and mental activity.
Love it.
Bears.
He's loving it.
They're just
Living
like our
his best
dogs.
life.
Look at them.
Right?
Well, imagine just wearing that thick coat the whole time.
Oh, especially during a heat wave.
Look at that one. He's like in a pool.
Wow.
in the ice bucket.
Pool.
Yeah, he's like, give me an ice bath. I'll take it.
Please. You're just silly.
I like it.
Cute.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Yeah.
A wild Siberian tiger has set a remarkable breaking record. She's given birth to 4 litters of cubs between 2019 and 2025, raising a total of 13. In this day and age, all of which have survived to adulthood. Researchers believe she may be one of the most prolific and successful mothers among any wild Siberian tiger. She's been living in the northeast China Tiger and Leopard National Park since 2019.
An award for the top breeder goes to...
Yeah.
That's a busy Mother's Day.
That is a busy Mother's Day. I hope they all get her presents.
Right.
Yeah,
All the
they
meat.
should.
You know, all the meat, all the tracking. There's our lions and tigers. No bears yet. Oh no, that was our bears.
Yeah, we had the.
I'm a lion. It's Leo season.
There you go.
There you go.
Happy Leo season.
Happy Leo season.
To the Leos.
To all who celebrate.
Yeah. One of our producers, Leo, in bright and early this morning.
Yes, true.
Good morning to Leo.
Good morning, Leo.
We want to bring you back to the Move Morning Chat. If you missed it, like depending on what time you tuned into the show, we always have a conversation with Aaron and Peter from Move Mornings in Halifax about a topic of the day. We call it the Move Morning Chat. This is the one we're talking about. We are asking you about how you like to enjoy your lobster. What's your favorite way to eat it? Maybe it's any way. Maybe it's not at all. Maybe there's a restaurant you love. 10400 is the number. Send us a text. We're collecting some of your answers already. We'll have them a little bit later.
Give me lobster mac and cheese.
You want the lobster mac and cheese?
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, our producer of the day says lobster poutine for Suzette Baliveau.
Suzette knows a thing about too.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
A thing or two, maybe.
Okay, we're having another break. Latavia has a long weekend forecast plus, marking an important day in history. Nova Scotia officially designated August 1st as Emancipation Day back in 2021. We'll have a conversation about that right after this.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 7:43. We're taking a live look at the Confederation Bridge. A bit of a cloudy, overcast start to your day, expecting a chance of showers and a risk of thunderstorms to move in a little bit later on. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. Feeling quite humid to start your day. We are going to see temperatures continue to rise but remain below seasonal for those daytime highs. We are not talking about the current wind as of right now, but we'll get to that in just a second. In terms of our current temperatures, it is feeling quite warm to start your day. We are going to see those temperatures, as I mentioned, warm up. But as of right now, it is 18 degrees in Halifax to start your day, 17 in Fredericton, as well as into Charlottetown, 13 degrees in Labrador City, and 12 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a laced wet wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island early this morning. Wind gusts expected to get up to 100 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. So a chance of showers and or drizzle, a risk of thunderstorms for the Maritime region. A risk of thunderstorms will move in later this morning into the afternoon for Prince Edward Island, as well as into Nova Scotia. Newfoundland, Labrador also dealing with wet weather throughout the day today. A chance of showers and or drizzle will move in. This afternoon, much of the same is expected across Atlantic Canada. That takes us into tonight. A low chance of showers will remain, a risk of thunderstorms. Into early Saturday morning, much of the same is expected. Some wet weather to start off your day, but we will be seeing that clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon for the Maritimes. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, heaviest being 5 to 10 millimeters for northern New Brunswick, remaining quite light across Prince Edward Island. The heaviest for eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island is 10 to 20 millimeters. Remaining light as well across Labrador. For Newfoundland, looking at around 10 to 20 as well. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, below seasonal daytime highs ranging from 18 to 23 degrees being the warmest into Grand Manan. Scattered showers expected throughout your day with wind gusts getting up to 40. Prince Edward Island highs will range from 19 degrees in Tignish up to 21 in both Summerside and Charlottetown. Isolated showers and a risk of thunderstorms on and off throughout the day. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, pretty much the same. Some isolated shower activity, a risk of thunderstorms expected. Daytime highs will range from 19 degrees up to 26 in Truro. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, some scattered showers on and off throughout the day, a risk of thunderstorms with highs between 21 degrees in Digby up to 24 in Kentville and Halifax. Some wet weather will move into Labrador City this afternoon with a high of 27. 15 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Showers and or drizzle expected throughout your day. That's a look at your weather. Going to throw things over to Brianne.
Thanks, Latavia. August 1st is National Emancipation Day in Canada. On this day in 1834, the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 became law across the British Empire, officially ending the practice of slavery for millions of African people and their descendants around the world. In 2021, the province of Nova Scotia officially designated August 1st as Emancipation Day. And here to explain the day is Russell Gross, CEO of the Black Cultural Centre for Nova Scotia. Good morning, Russell.
Good morning.
All right, so lots on the go. Talk to us about the importance of recognizing Emancipation Day across the country.
Yeah, Emancipation Day is a day to recognize the fact that, there were the atrocities of slavery that happened here in our country, here in Nova Scotia. It's always been a misnomer that, slavery's only been something that's happened south of the border, and it has actively happened here. And Emancipation Day is a day to commemorate the fact that that existed and remember that, but also to celebrate and to honor the fact that through great perseverance and overcoming adversity, the communities of Nova Scotia still thrived and contributed to society.
Absolutely. And for people who don't know, why is it such a milestone that Nova Scotia declared this day provincially?
Yeah, Nova Scotia was leading the way as one of the first provinces in Canada to declare August 1st as Emancipation Day. And that's so powerful because Nova Scotia is the home to 52 historic Black communities that trace their roots back over 400 years in the province. And Nova Scotia holds the designation of being the origin point of the Black experience in the Black community in our country. And so it's very powerful to have Emancipation Day recognized in this province because of the long-standing heritage and history that exists.
Absolutely. You do so much to bring the community to light. What's happening today as well as the rest of the weekend to mark Emancipation Day locally?
Yes, there's several events happening across the province throughout the month of August, quite frankly. But in particular today, there's a flag raising at Province House this morning to commemorate Emancipation Day. And tomorrow on the Halifax waterfront at 11 a.m., is our annual Emancipation Day ceremony. And it's a ceremony of reflection, a ceremony of understanding, a ceremony of commemorating an important part of our shared history. You know, we can't look forward at the progress that we've made as a society if we don't look back at the past that, you know, even though there are some parts of that past that might not be so palatable, but it's important to remember that so that we know where we've come from to where we're going.
Absolutely. So the municipality is proud to mark the 3rd year of Anti-Black Racism Grants Program. Why is it important, and who does this help?
It actually helps organizations and communities to have proper ways to be able to commemorate history and to commemorate their community stories. You know, when you think about the legacy of Emancipation Day, and you think about enslavement, you think about people not having identity, and it's a time that we can learn more about people's history, more about their stories, and most importantly, to hear their truths in their own voice. And so supports like this help communities be able to share their stories and to share how communities have developed through the atrocities of slavery and marginalizations.
Thank you so much for your time, Russell. It's always so good to talk to you and hear from you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Time now to check in with Amanda with health and medical news.
Thanks, Russell and Brianne. Over 1,500 people have been killed by the fastest growing Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo. Now, research out of Winnipeg has found a way to make it easier and quicker to diagnose this new strain. It's one of the topics in your health. Official data shows a 50% increase in around a week as the emergency continues to outpace response efforts. There is a Canadian connection to the efforts to speed up diagnosis. A Manitoba-based team was able to quickly validate a portable field test specifically for this strain of Ebola, meaning accurate test results could be delivered in roughly an hour.
We were able to get an assay validated and then deployed out to different Ebola treatment centers and rural health clinics in the area so that there was at least testing capacity in the region. We're still, behind the 8 ball in terms of getting people tested, certainly in the amounts they need to, but at the very least we have a tool that can be used directly in those clinics.
Health officials believe the virus was circulating for weeks before Congo announced an outbreak on May 15th. This strain of Ebola has no vaccine or treatment. Finally, Canadian researchers are looking for people living in rural parts of Alberta to take part in a study to help shape the future of grief support. The study explores how people in rural communities experience grief after losing someone to substance abuse. A University of Alberta professor says she hopes to interview 20 adults who live or have lived in rural Alberta and have lost a loved one to substance abuse. The project uses real stories to understand the challenges of grief in small communities.
As a whole in Canada, we don't do a really great job of supporting people who are going through any sort of grief. And I think especially in rural communities where it's even harder to access a lot of services, talking about and getting support for grief is really, really challenging. And so while we're not, this isn't necessarily an intervention or a support for grief, it's one way of being able to help people work through those feelings.
Researchers will also use art to share the experiences. They've teamed up with an Edmonton artist to turn the participants' stories into art.
And now we'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today. It's a 50th anniversary for Gary and Heather Northup of Middle Sackville, Nova Scotia.
Oh, I love a then photo.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. It's also a 50th anniversary for Peggy and Earl Murchison of Edwardsville, Nova Scotia.
Dale.
Stunning.
Happy anniversary. It's also a 50th anniversary for Vernon and Lorinda Gavin of Halifax.
I love all of these old photos.
Young and in love.
Keeping with that 50th anniversary theme, it's Gary and Heather Crossland of Clearland, Nova Scotia's 50th anniversary.
Happy anniversary. It's also a 50th anniversary for Gail and Tom Whitmore of Dartmouth.
Oh, congratulations, you two. And celebrating 5 decades together, it's an anniversary for Mark and Cindy Masters of Lowell or Sackville, Nova Scotia. A little then, a little now.
Aw, still in love. It's also a 65th anniversary for Alan and Polly Jameson of Miramichi, New Brunswick.
65 years. That is impressive.
Absolutely.
Of course, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, you can scan the QR code that's going to pop up on the screen, maybe not.
All right.
You can visit ctvatlantic.ca for that instead.
Absolutely. So celebrations all around, because we know Carnival is celebrated around the world, and Toronto Caribbean Carnival King and Queen Showcase took place Thursday night, teeing up a weekend where Caribbean culture will be celebrated across Toronto.
Yes, CP24's Seja Nelson was at the event and gives us the highlights.
It is known as the official kickoff to the Toronto Caribbean Carnival. Many people telling me this is their warm-up for the festive weekend ahead. The annual King and Queen Showcase gives people a glimpse of the best costumes they're going to see on the road. All 10 mass bands showcase the intricate costumes they have been working on for months, and they are big, they are bright, they are elaborate, and down to the detail, every single thing matters. And the judges have their work cut out for them. It's going to be difficult for them to announce a king and queen because every single one of these costumes stood out tonight. But even though that this is a competition, every single person here is a king or queen because it is a celebration about community, celebrating culture. And we were talking to people earlier today on why Carnival means so much to them. Take a listen.
I really wanted to just partake in my culture and spend some time with my family. This is something that my mom and dad have been doing for years. Actually, they were on a Caravana planning committee in the 80s, I think. So it's like, this is sort of in our blood and our connection to this place and our connection to home generally.
It takes months and months and months of preparation. After Toronto Carnival ends this weekend, the bands probably get a couple weeks, maybe a month off, and then they go right back into preparing for the new season. You will see all these costumes again on the road on Saturday. That is for the Grand Parade, and we will have special coverage as well. You can watch CP24 starting at 8 a.m. We will be live on the road, hosted by our very own CTV's Jessica Smith and Raheem Ladani. You don't want to miss it. Our special coverage starting on Saturday morning. But this is just the warm-up. There is still a lot of dancing and celebrating left for the Carnival weekend. I'll send it back to you.
All right, taking a look at our 3-day forecast. For New Brunswick, 21 degrees today. Scattered showers expected across the province. Scattered showers continue into Saturday's forecast, but clears out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud, warming up to 24, 27 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia, 20 degrees today. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms. That continues early Saturday morning. Clears out, though, leaving sunshine. Sunshine continues in the forecast on Sunday with a high of 25. For Prince Edward Island, looking at isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms today. Scattered showers on Saturday, clearing out, leaving sunshine, warming up to 26 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud.
It's Friday, July 31st. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Halifax's McDonald Bridge will be closed for a portion of the long weekend. We'll have the details just ahead in your news headlines.
And the world's most unique basketball tournament returns to Halifax. Full Court 21 shares their goal for this year's event and so much more. That's coming up.
July 31st. It is the last day of the month of July before we head into the start of the long weekend. August, the last month of summer as well. So lots of time to soak up the sun.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Solstice, the fall solstice doesn't start until September.
Yes, yes.
So it's not the last month of summer.
Well, Well, this is true. Summer
vacation.
Yeah.
For
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Vacation.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, September, October. Beautiful around
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah,
stunning.
And if you're going to be going on vacation, a lot of people use this long weekend to do camping.
If you are flying anywhere on vacation and you're flying WestJet, however, keep your finger on the pulse of news because they might be going on strike.
That's a great point.
So,
and we'll have
that in mind.
Tips on that coming up at 8:15.
Tips and tricks.
Absolutely.
Tips and tricks if you're flying. Hopefully you're not impacted by that.
Yeah.
The tips and tricks for weather today would be bring your rain gear.
Oh, okay. There you go. We like it. We like that. Always in my car. Umbrella, coat. Rubber boots.
And then do you find you're sweating sometimes in those rubber boots because you have a lot of rain gear on to stay dry, and then you start sweating because then you're so humid.
So then you're wet anyways.
Exactly. Well, as you can see over here, you can't really see much over at the Armdale roundabout in Halifax this morning. It is a foggy and wet start to the day for much of the region. Keep this in mind when you are heading out. 18 degrees already in Halifax, feeling quite muggy as we do have humidity factoring in early this morning across the region. For our current temperatures, it is already warming up. As of right now, 17 degrees in Charlottetown, 17 also into Fredericton, 13 degrees starting off your day in Labrador City, 18 in Happy Valley Goose Bay with 12 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Holding on to a lace wet wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island this morning. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Chance of drizzle and or showers, risk of thunderstorms for parts of Atlantic Canada throughout the day today, so be prepared for some wet weather ahead. In terms of our wind forecast, as of right now, it is 26 kilometers per hour into North Cape, 17 in Canso, 15 in Sydney, with 13 into Grand Tang. Only one wind gust at this time, getting up to 31 in Grand Tang. We'll take another look at your forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. In Halifax, one of the harbour bridges will be closed on Sunday. On August 2nd, the McDonald will be off limits to vehicles from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. This is to accommodate the 1-mile harbour hustle run in the morning and the bridge walk in the afternoon. It's all part of Natal Day weekend events. There will also be 12 overnight closures of the McDonald Bridge for the month of August. The McKay Bridge will remain open. Police in Halifax are currently looking for a motorcyclist accused of intentionally hitting a rider on an e-bike in a crosswalk. This video shows a motorcyclist headed onto the McDonald Bridge last Thursday night. But before he gets on, he turns around and drives directly into a man on an e-bike. They collide and the motorcyclist drives off. The e-bike rider, who does not want to be identified, says he sustained injuries to his back and wrist.
I was in such shock. Like, all I knew was that I just got hit. And I was like, the hell, and then this guy's taking off. Like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do.
What we know about the bike is it was a sports bike, a black sports bike with a tan side panel. And all we know about the suspect right now is it's a white male.
Halifax police can't say for certain whether the incident was targeted or random. Meanwhile, after a number of serious crashes in and around Fredericton, the RCMP is urging drivers to pay attention to the road this long weekend.
One fatal crash is one too many. So we urge the population, and urge people on the road to be careful, to put down the cell phone, observe where you're going, and make sure that you are aware of your environment.
There have been a number of serious collisions and fatalities in and around Fredericton over the past 2 months. That includes a 2-vehicle crash on the Princess Margaret Bridge in May, where 2 women died and a third had serious injuries. Earlier this month, a 3-car accident on the Westmoreland Bridge left traffic backed up for hours. For the most part, you'll be paying a little less to fill up at Maritime pumps ahead of the long weekend. Beginning with Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 2 cents a litre. The minimum price, $1.90.6. Meantime, diesel increased by 6.2 cents. The minimum price now $2.39.2. In PEI, gas slipped by 1.7 cents. The minimum price just over $2 a litre. Meantime, price of diesel did not change. It rests at a minimum price of $2.44.3. And in New Brunswick, gas fell by 0.9 cents. The maximum price $1.92.6, and diesel decreased by just over 4 cents a litre. The maximum price now $2.44.5. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western Prince Edward Island is once again going to be closed. The emergency department at Albertins Hospital only just reopened yesterday, but it will be closed again today due to a temporary staffing shortage. The closest ER is about an hour away at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside. Health PEI says call 911 in an emergency or 811 for medical advice. The ER is expected to reopen for regular hours tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The average Maritime Electric customer on PEI will see an uptick in their power bill next month as the utility seeks to recover costs from Hurricane Fiona. Maritime Electric, which provides roughly 90% of the energy on the island, sought approval from the Provincial Regulatory and Appeals Commission to recover the costs of restoring power after the 2022 storm. The total cost is roughly $41.2 million. Last month, the commission ruled Maritime Electric could recover 90% of the Fiona restoration costs from customers. A rate adjustment will go into effect on Saturday. The commission says the average residential customer will see a 3.1% cost increase per year until the Fiona expenses are fully recovered. Bangor to Boston, and no, it's a bit of a drive. So imagine walking that distance. A man from Maine is getting a leg up for a good cause. Next week, Nathaniel Douglas will start a journey of more than 200 miles, that is 370 kilometers, on foot from Bangor to Boston. In his 20s, Douglas battled a brain tumor and says he remembers making that drive many times. The 33-year-old is making the journey to raise money for the Boston Children's Hospital.
Oh.
Journey is expected to take 16 days because he's going to try to walk 15 miles a day. I hope he's got some good shoes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
He's walking for a great cause.
Absolutely.
Sure is. Wow. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Also impressive is the local talent we have here in our sporting community, right? So obviously the Thunderbird season is over for the moment, but a lot of the players play lacrosse throughout the summer, you know, other teams, other leagues, they do camps, all of the fun things to help everyone keep the sport of lacrosse top of mind, but they aren't the only ones keeping that up with that sport this summer.
Stands for a little security. Lipkin takes it herself and goes 5-hole.
Yes, that is the voice of Mackie Jenner, who we are used to hearing and seeing on the Thunderbirds Day Call. She made her way to Japan to call the Nissan Foods 2026 World Lacrosse Women's Championship. And as always, making Halifax proud. Canada played in one of two semifinals this morning. Jenner had the call and Canada won 18-5. Wow. So they're waiting to see who they will play in the finals between the U.S. and Israel.
Wow, so cool. So she's doing that in Japan right now.
She's doing that in Japan, and she's doing a daily blog of like everything she's seeing in Japan and all the different things she's trying, and it's very impressive. I mean, she has an incredible career ahead of her, so it's always nice to just see her shining on the world stage too.
That's exciting.
So
good for her.
Shout out to Mackie Jenner.
And go Canada, go.
Right? Also, she gets to do the final call with Canada playing, so like also kind of a full circle moment for her.
Oh, absolutely.
Love it.
Really exciting. And listen, we're going to keep the sport conversation going because still have this half hour. The world's most unique basketball tournament. The event's coming to Halifax tomorrow. We'll get those details later this half hour. But first, we have national news. We'll have the latest details on the possible WestJet strike and how it could impact you for flights. And Latavia has the latest look at the forecast. That's on the other side of this break. We're saying good morning to our viewers in downtown Charlottetown, taking a live look at a very quiet Queen Street this morning. The forecast is next.
Good morning. A very cloudy start to this Friday over in McAdam. Time now is 8:13. 18 degrees to start your day, though, so it's feeling quite muggy. We do have some scattered showers expected in your area a little bit later on. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. 16 degrees starting off your day in Sydney, 19 in Yarmouth, 17 degrees in both Fredericton and Charlottetown with 14 in Labrador City, 12 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have wet weather tracking across Atlantic Canada today. A foggy, cloudy start to the day, as well as precipitation moving in. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for the Maritime region. Of that risk of thunderstorms remaining into Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia today. Newfoundland and Labrador also going to see a chance of showers and or drizzle. That will continue into this afternoon and then into this evening. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms will remain. Fog will continue to develop into early Saturday morning. A bit of a wet start to the day with a chance of showers, but expected to clear for the Maritime region, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we are going to see around 5 to 10 millimeters for northern New Brunswick, remaining light across Prince Edward Island. For eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island, looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters. For Labrador, going to remain light across the province today. And then for Newfoundland, heaviest being 10 to 20. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs remaining below seasonal today, ranging from 18 degrees up to 23 in Grand Manan. Scattered showers across the province with wind gusts getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, isolated showers with a risk of thunderstorms on and off throughout the day today. Wind gusts of 40 with highs between 19 degrees in Tignish up to 21 in both Summerside and Charlottetown. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a bit of wet weather as well. A low chance of showers with a risk of thunderstorms. Highs between 19 degrees in Canso up to 25 in Truro, and light wind for this part of the province. For the rest of Nova Scotia, scattered showers and a risk of thunderstorms throughout your day today. Daytime highs will range from 21 degrees in Digby up to 24 in Kentville and Halifax. And then for Labrador City, a bit of sunshine to start your day, mainly sunny skies with showers arriving into the afternoon. A high of 27, 15 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Showers and a drizzle expected throughout your day. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. There is good news in Ontario's wildfire fight, where the number of out-of-control fires is dropping.
30 are not under control, 7 are being held, 7 are under control, and 115 are being observed.
156 Ontario fire crews are currently deployed with air support from fire suppression crews, including firefighters from several provinces and Mexico.
Logan Lake just flared up.
On the west coast in BC, a new wildfire has ballooned in size, prompting people near Logan Lake to preemptively evacuate animals from a ranch there. And overseas in southwest France, 84,000 people who were evacuated from their homes due to wildfires are being allowed to return home. That wildfire has already burned an area 4 times the size of Paris and destroyed 240 homes. U.S. President Donald Trump says that a major step forward has been made towards peace in the Middle East. In a post on Truth Social, Donald Trump declaring, today the Board of Peace reached a historic agreement for the complete disarmament of Hamas and all other armed groups in Gaza. Trump also saying this agreement, which will be carried out in phases, will lead to a new Palestinian government. Well, you'll want to check your flight plans if you are booked with WestJet. Thousands of travelers could be facing delays just hours from now as a potential strike by workers or a lockout by the airline is set for Sunday. Here is CTV's Kathy Lee.
For many WestJet passengers, a looming strike means today's trip comes with a question mark. But people like Sampreet Chima and his family are still taking off.
We're actually headed to San Diego.
Unsure if their return flight will stay on course.
Our dates are like right in the middle of the potential strike.
As bargaining continues, the union representing about 4,400 flight attendants has issued a 72-hour strike notice, while the airline has responded with a lockout notice of its own. In a statement, WestJet's CEO saying, "We sincerely regret the inconvenience and uncertainty this continues to cause for our guests." The union planned a press conference but canceled, saying in a statement, "Unfortunately, the parties are still too far apart on some key issues." Flight attendants voted 99% in favor of a strike mandate earlier this month. Wages, unpaid work, and working conditions, the major sticking points at the bargaining table. Issues similar to why Air Canada flight attendants went on strike last year for 3 days. This labor relations expert says despite today's escalation, there's still time to reach a deal.
It's really not uncommon at all to see these kinds of situations resolved with an agreement at the 11th hour.
About 75,000 passengers a day could be impacted. While a strike could begin as early as Sunday, some flights could start being grounded as early as tomorrow unless a deal is reached. But some travelers are taking it in stride.
A little bit of panic, but you know, we're going on vacation anyways. A few extra days doesn't hurt.
The strike and lockout notices come a day after both sides agreed to a wind-down plan, which outlines the details of how operations would be scaled back and how crews would be returned if there is a work stoppage. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Thank you, Kathy. Finally, Europe will boycott the next World Cup if FIFA goes ahead with a plan to sell stakes in the tournament to private investors. FIFA's president wants to create a $20 billion spin-off company to run the World Cup with minority ownership stakes up for sale. Europe's governing soccer body voting yesterday to boycott FIFA competitions if that plan goes through. In a statement, the group said, quote, "Some things are simply too important to sell." And the Soccer Confederation that Canada plays under, also known as CONCACAF, has also rejected the plan but stopped short of calling for a boycott. Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have details on the world's most unique basketball tournament, which returns to the region. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. It is 8:22, and the world's most unique basketball tournament returns to Halifax. If you love watching or playing high-energy basketball, come out this weekend. Joining us to share the details, we welcome back Will Strickland. How's it going, Will?
Excellent, excellent. We do the victory shake in advance because we know we're going to win.
I love it. I love it. All right, for those who don't know, talk to us a little bit about Full Court 21.
It's the world's most unique basketball tournament, as you said earlier. It's the only application of 1v5 basketball on the planet. It's fun, it's fast. It's not 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Again, 1v5, you against the world, no teammates. Bring your game, get busy, and of course, do work.
It's interesting because everyone thinks of basketball as a team sport, obviously. But what does this allow players to do?
It actually is the genesis of your basketball playing experience, because when you start off, you don't go as a rep team to the park or whatever the case might be. You go and you test yourself against people you don't know. And this is basically the same thing. So it really is the foundation of how to learn how to play this game.
Yeah, it's like the runs. You show up for
100%.
runs and you join a team and
you don't know the guys, you don't know the girls, whoever it is, and you just figure it out. And I think that's the great thing about learning basketball. You know, so many kids with I see 5-year-olds with trainers today. I don't want to be violent, but I really do want to kick their parents in the chest. The kids have to go out and learn how to play the hard way, like just step by step, have an imagination, not be robots. And nobody beats a cone off the dribble or shoots over a garbage can like they have them roboting. Let them be creative, and that's what we want them to do. We start off the day with our Get Busy program, which is our free skill development mini camp for young people ages 5 to 13. You can sign up at FC21 or FC21ca.com to find out more.
All right, so that's Saturday.
Yeah.
Awesome. And where in Halifax are we located?
George Dixon Center.
Okay.
Right there, the lower court on Brunswick.
Yep.
And it's a very special court to me personally because of my involvement with Dwayne Jones, who did the art there. He was one of our OG players. We call him NFL. I give a lot of nomenclature on that day. NFL stands for no free lunch.
Okay.
He's a great defensive player. He will not let you get free lunch at the basket. He will block your shot.
I love it so much. How has FC21 evolved over the years?
You know, starting in 2013 in New York City with my man Bobito Garcia, one of my best friends, who really saw this thing as something fun to do. I watched for 2 years before I brought it to Canada.
Okay.
And when we started, we did it in Toronto and Vancouver first, and then we saw the resonance was so great that we had to add some cities, and I didn't want to be greedy about it, but I thought that the best places to do it were Edmonton, Montreal, and of course, Hollywood, California.
There you go. There you go. I love that Hollywood made the list.
No doubt.
How has people's reaction been? You see a number of people signing up and wanting to come and participate and just seeing it grow every single year.
Well, people are curious about what it is exactly, and when they learn, like, oh, they play one time, like, I'm coming back next year. I didn't get it at first, but even if you don't win, you win because of the connective tissue we make. And I think that's one of the great things about coming to each of these communities across the country is that I get to learn as someone from New York City who lives in Canada now. You know, I have a special place in these communities. I don't want to be the guy that comes to your party and leave red Solo cups all over your lawn or whatever. We want to be a real part of the community. So that's what we do in each and every city.
Obviously, the game of basketball continues to grow in Canada. We see those talents, SGA doing his thing. Why is it so important to start at the ground roots?
Well, no one woke up and became Brienne and got on TV and did, you know, you have to do the work, no doubt. And I think that's with any discipline you deal with. And I think understanding something from the ground up is very important. Even with, you know, we talk about our community partners. You guys are a great community partner for us. You have us here almost every year, and we appreciate CTV and doing what they do. But, you know, guys like Mike over at Steel Fort Lincoln, these guys give me a vehicle.
Right.
Drive around, or the guys who are the official hotel sponsor for Full Court 21 Western Nova Scotia. They really do a great job of making it possible for us to do this for free for the kids in the morning and then for the teens in the afternoon and the adults later on that day.
Amazing. Community effort all the way around.
Yeah.
All right, well, Will, thank you so much. We've linked it to our website as well, so if you're curious and you want to check it out, check out our website. And CTV Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this.
Still ahead on the show, celebrate your love of the East Coast through clothing. We'll check out Dear Ocean, their very first collection. They join us a little later this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning, Atlantic, Canada. I got my swag on.
Yeah, that's a really nice hat.
Oh, yeah. Colors are epic.
You have to try and win one of these normally, but my basketball skills are just so elevated that Will decided that I deserved a little shout out. Right, Will?
All the hoops, man.
All the hoops. But yeah, no, if you have never seen Full Court 21, honestly, it's so cool. It's such an awesome vibe, and it's such a good part to be about, to be with. And the weather's gonna be nice.
Absolutely. Into the long weekend. Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds. So get out there, head to the court, shoot some hoops.
Win a hat.
Win a hat.
Perfect, yeah.
Win-win.
It's like a really nice hat.
It's a really nice hat.
You know, it's nice when you got the sticker to it.
I know. It's official. It's officially official. I'm going to be playing basketball all weekend in my heels.
You know what? It's perfect, too. You can wear that hat outside in this current weather.
That's true.
You have that mugginess sticking around across the Maritime region. A foggy, a cloudy start to the day. We are expecting a chance of showers, so if you are heading out to Peggy's Cove, make sure to have your rain gear when heading out there. Risk of thunderstorms as well into the afternoon for Nova Scotia. 18 degrees to start your day in Halifax, 19 in Yarmouth with 17 in Charlottetown and in Fredericton. 12 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. We have now seen that wind warning end in Cape Breton Island. We are still dealing with wet weather, though, across Atlantic Canada. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for parts of the Maritime region, Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing a bit of wet weather as well. In terms of our wind forecast, it's going to be a bit breezy, especially into the afternoon. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in North Cape. We're looking at 15 in Sydney, 13 into Charlottetown, Miramichi, and Bathurst. And no wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take one last look at your long weekend forecast, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. We began with a traffic note for the long weekend. In Halifax, one of the harbor bridges will be closed on Sunday. That is August 2nd. The McDonald will be off limits to vehicles from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. This is to accommodate the 1-mile Harbor Hustle run in the morning and the bridge walk in the afternoon. It's part of Natal Day weekend events. There will also be 12 overnight closures of the McDonald Bridge for the month of August. The McKay Bridge will remain open. Now to prices at the pumps, and for the most part, you'll be paying a little bit less to fill up. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, the Halifax area, gas fell by 2 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.90.6. Meantime, diesel increased by 6.2 cents. The minimum price $2.39.2. In Prince Edward Island, gas slipped by 1.7 cents. The minimum price now just over $2 a litre. Meantime, price of diesel did not change. It rests at a minimum price of $2.44.3 a litre on the island. And in New Brunswick, gas fell by 0.9 cents. The maximum price $1.92.6 a litre. And diesel decreased by just over 4 cents a litre. The maximum price now $2.44.5. For the 5th time this month, an ER in Western Prince Edward Island is once again going to be closed. The emergency department at Albertons Hospital only just reopened Thursday, but it will be closed again today due to a temporary staffing shortage. The closest ER is about an hour away at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside. LPEI says call 911 in an emergency or 811 for medical advice. The ER is expected to reopen for regular hours on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ambulance dispatchers in Nova Scotia remain on the picket line, striking over pay and staffing levels.
It's a job that takes an emotional toll, it takes a physical toll, and if you combine the stress inherent in this job with the fact that our wages have not kept up with the cost of living, then what you get is high turnover and low retention.
A worker starting at EMC Comm Center makes $23.77 an hour. That's about $52,000 a year. At the RCMP Public Service Answering Point, a starting worker makes $72,000 a year. So that's a $20,000 an hour a year difference.
These medical dispatchers work with 911 operators to send ambulances and proper resources to emergencies. And they've been on strike now for almost 2 weeks. Because it's an essential service, there is a contingency plan in place, meaning emergency calls are still being picked up. The employer, Emergency Medical Care Incorporated, declined an interview request with CTV News, but in a statement said all EHS essential service delivery and operational requirements will be maintained throughout the labor disruption. Focus continues to be on delivering safe, high-quality care. This time of year, it's not uncommon to hear about beach closures due to blue-green algae. The bacteria can be harmful to humans and especially pets. CTV's Emma Convey reports.
This warning sign was put up at Oakfield Provincial Park, an alert to beachgoers about the presence of blue-green algae in the water.
They are photosynthesizing bacteria, like I said, that live in lakes, and sometimes when conditions are good for them, they form these blooms or they form mats on the bottom of lakes that can sometimes produce toxins.
The municipality says the blooms they see tend to blow in during the morning when the water is calm. She says typically blue-green algae is green and through the water column, but it's not always visible. So their teams closely monitor the beaches they know have had it in the past.
You can't tell by looking at it whether or not it's toxic, even if you're an expert on this, because there are so many species.
Montgomery says there are mats and blooms. Mats lay on the bottom of a watercourse and release significant toxins.
All the research that we've seen is even if there's lethal amounts of toxin in this mat, the water above it tends to be pretty low or even non-detectable.
This team at Dalhousie University has been researching the bacteria for around 14 years. This professor says it's become more common in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick lakes.
So the pigment have to be firstly analyzed in the lab. And the second direction of research now I'm trying to do with the monitoring is using the drone. That means we fly over the lakes and take some pictures.
So far, this team has learned that more blooms are showing up due to climate change. And when fertilizers like pesticides make their way into the waterways, it can also create more blooms.
When we talk about cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, they should be potentially toxic. But we cannot say they are dangerous until we test.
He says if you see a bloom on the surface of water, let an expert know to test it. And the peak of blue-green algae season is August. It can last in some cases until November. Emma Convey, CTV News.
Thank you, Emma. Something to keep in mind if you are heading to a waterway this long weekend, to keep an eye out on the water and if there are any alerts in place.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, well, speaking of heading out, when Maritimers hit the road this summer, their first stop should be Needs Fast Fuel to help. So Afrofest will be heading to Caracat this weekend. Experience an unforgettable celebration featuring live music, cultural performances, delicious international cuisine, local artisans, and so much more. The event takes place Saturday, August 1st. For additional details, head over to their website. Ice Cream for Wishes takes place this upcoming weekend. You can head over to Peggy's Cove Convenience and Dairy Bar for a delicious way to support Make-A-Wish. From 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturday, August 1st, enjoy ice cream in support of the all-day fundraiser. All proceeds raised will help grant wishes for children facing critical illnesses. For more information, head over to their Facebook event page. And commemorate Emancipation Day on the Halifax waterfront. Starting from 11 a.m. on August 1st, there will be a flag-raising ceremony, musical performances, and more.
Explore the Maritimes this summer. Brought to you by Needs and Fast Fuel. There for all your on-the-go snacking needs.
In partnership with Needs, Convenience, and Fast Fuel, wants to help you fuel up for fun. With more than 140 stores and gas bars throughout Atlantic Canada, Needs is your headquarters for coffee, slushies, snacks, meals on the move, car washes, and fuel. One lucky viewer will win a $200 gift card to be used at any Needs or Fast Fuel location. Adventure awaits, so don't miss out on your chance to fuel up for fun. Head to our website, ctvatlantic.ca, and good luck.
All right, and we're going to have another break. Latavia's got the long weekend forecast, and then Dear Ocean. It is a new line of clothing available in our region, and it features original hand-painted Nova Scotia artwork. We're going to get a look at the swag up next.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 8:42. Taking a live look at White Point to start your day. 17 degrees right now. We are expecting a chance of showers to move in a little bit later on this morning. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out early on. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. 18 degrees to start your day in Halifax with 19 in Yarmouth. 17 degrees in both Fredericton early this morning in Charlottetown. 18 already in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. 12 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Taking a look at our forecast timeline, a bit of a cloudy, foggy, and wet start to the day across Atlantic Canada. Keep this in mind when you are heading out. Don't forget your rain gear. We do have a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for all three maritime provinces. Newfoundland and Labrador going to see wet weather as well. A chance of showers and or drizzle will move in, and that will take us into tonight. We are going to still have wet weather sticking around for parts of all three maritime provinces into early Saturday morning. A bit of a wet and foggy start to the day. A chance of showers expected to clear, though, for Saturday's forecast, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. If you are wondering about precipitation totals, the heaviest being 5 to 10 millimeters into northern New Brunswick, heaviest for Nova Scotia, eastern Nova Scotia, parts of Cape Breton Island seeing 10 to 20 millimeters, and that goes for parts of Newfoundland, 10 to 20 millimeters as well. For forecast today for New Brunswick, below seasonal daytime highs ranging from 18 to 23 degrees being the warmest into Grand Manan. Scattered showers expected throughout your day today with wind gusts picking up to 40. For Prince Edward Island, isolated showers with the risk of thunderstorms on and off throughout the day today. Daytime highs between 19 degrees in Tignish up to 21 in both Summerside and Charlottetown. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a bit of wet weather throughout your day as well. A low chance of showers with the risk of thunderstorms. Light wind out of the northeast, only 20 kilometers per hour. And daytime highs ranging from 19 degrees in Canso up to 25 in Truro. For the rest of Nova Scotia, some scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms expected today. Daytime highs ranging from 21 degrees in Digby up to 24 in both Kentville and Halifax. Wet weather also expected for Labrador City, 27 degrees for Labrador City with mainly sunny skies to start your day. Showers arrive into the afternoon. 15 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at showers and or drizzle throughout your day today. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Now we're going to talk to Amanda and the owners of Dear Ocean.
Oh, Latavia, you're going to love these clothes. So many artists and brands, they showcase their love of the East Coast through their products, but not all of them feature original hand-painted Nova Scotia artwork on quality clothing. Halifax-based Dear Ocean is brand new, combining their love of art and apparel to share stories from the sea, and they're here to launch their very first clothing line. We're so excited to have them in this morning. Joining us over here on the far right, we have Warren Jardine and Justin Munden. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations on the clothing clothing line. So Justin, I'll start with you. You came up with the idea for the clothing line, and Warren, you're the artist behind it. So let's just talk about how you two met and where this idea came from.
Yeah, basically it was like 2 years ago. I came up with the idea while shopping because I really couldn't find what I was looking for.
Okay.
And I realized, like, I found that Halifax is due for a new coastal apparel brand.
Right.
And to make this brand special, I really wanted the designs to be hand-painted artwork. I just find it, I was kind of tired of the computer-generated designs, and I thought that really made it special.
Wow. And Warren, you're showing some of the pieces. Can you tell us a little bit about your artwork?
Absolutely.
And what inspires it? Because that is simply stunning. That is something that you hand paint.
I hand paint everything using acrylic paints, and I've been painting for the past 10 years as a professional, and I've been selling my art down at the brewery market, and I've always felt there was a lack in the ode to Nova Scotia that is truly about the industries that fall here, but also in general the ocean. So when I paint loose, I paint ready to, like, I just paint to go. Like, I just paint ready for clothing, and I love everything Nova Scotia theme. We've got the fishing boat.
Yeah. Selection here. This is so colorful. And one thing that I've really noticed that we've seen over the past 10 years here in Atlantic Canada is people want to wear Atlantic Canadian. And this isn't just printing on it too. Like, you really care about the quality of the clothing. Can you tell us a bit about the material itself, because this is heavy duty?
Yes, everything, like, it's heavyweight, it's good quality. I really wanted to match good material to match Warren's beautiful art. So, you know, our t-shirts, everything's really well done.
Printed directly onto the fabric, so you can feel that there's no difference. And
wow.
Yeah, it's all DTG.
I'm gonna let my paper go. That is gorgeous. And do you know who this person is?
No, I just painted it. It's just my dream is jumping off the yacht.
Look at how colorful this stuff is.
This is Lovers for Life. This is one that I did as an ode to all the different people out there and the different relationships and things like that.
Gorgeous. And like, here, Justin, you can see here. Turn all the way around so we can see that. Is that one of the lighthouse?
This is Peggy's Cove. We've got the smokestacks over in Dartmouth. We've got the bridge here. We've got an Oland here. We've got the Blue Nose. We've got mussels. This one was originally painted about 4.5 feet tall using Indian ink. Yeah, and then it gets printed on here. So
that's
amazing. Quite fun. Yeah.
Okay, so this line, Dear Ocean, just launching this week.
Yeah, we just launched on Tuesday. So yeah, we have tote bags. We have a couple hats as well.
Wow.
And yes, this is our first collection.
What is that on your left hand, Warren?
This is a hand-painted, sculpted tray of oysters. So it's actually a canvas, but it reads as if you've ordered oysters.
I don't know if you can tell about like the texture if it's showing up on camera, but you can actually feel how three-dimensional that is. That's beautiful. Okay, so people are looking at this and saying, hey, I really like what you're selling here. Where can they start to find Dear Ocean products?
Right now, everything's online, okay? So it's just dearocean.ca. So that's where you go and shop our boutique.
And follow us on Instagram. You'll get a lot of information on different designs, new drops, when paintings are coming out. And I'm hand painting new ones currently for stay tuned for Christmas. So, yeah.
Okay, so you're already like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
We've got some new stuff planned.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in. Congratulations. Dear Ocean, just launching now. Another one to add to your East Coast collection. We're going to take a quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic and be right back to wrap up the show. Oh my gosh.
Super cool.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. We're just about to wrap up the Friday show, but we know y'all love lobster because we do too. So our Mood Morning Chat, we're asking about how you like to eat your lobster. We had some really unique answers too. Just wait and see. Let's start with Diane who, from Pictou says, lobster in a cream sauce on potatoes or just plain. We're hosting a lobster dinner at our fire department next weekend. We are sold out, but it's 400 lobster dinners with lobster, potato salad, coleslaw, roll, and cake.
Well, Diane, if you have another ticket, I'll
let us
meet
know.
you there.
Yeah, let us know. We'll take you up on it. Bernie from Ross say, I'm old-fashioned. We steam the lobster with the rubber band off and serve it with lots of butter, no margarine.
Okay.
Yeah, go for the real stuff.
Gotta be the real stuff. Can't believe it's not butter.
Art says, I always put lobster meat into a bowl, then make thick lobsters with fresh homemade bread, lettuce, and mayo. Yum, yum.
Yeah, it sounds yum, yum. Art, we're coming over.
Yes.
Coming over. What time are we coming over?
Right? Fresh bread, too.
Kimberly says there's only one way to eat lobster, out of the shell, which is delicious, especially dipped in garlic butter. My brother will attest that Ben's bread, butter, or Becel with Miracle Whip and lobster is the only way to go. Miracle Whip is a new one.
Wow, interesting.
Interesting. Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Pat from Timberley says, my dad was a part-time fisherman, so we had lobster all the time, lucky duck. Best way to eat it was simply by dipping it in vinegar. We often took lobster sandwiches for lunch, which I never liked, so I'd sell them and go buy a hamburger.
Oh my goodness.
I eventually developed an allergy, so now I only eat scallops.
She told us this before. She would trade them for lunches.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel that. Although I
Lucky
wouldn't have traded my lobster sandwiches.
Donna from Halifax, I love a big fat lobster sandwich on soft, fresh, white bread.
That's so fair.
Yeah, forget the whole wheat stuff.
Yeah, has to be classic.
Brandon says the only way to eat lobster is creamed steam lobster. Shell it, fry it in butter, and add a cap of vinegar. Also add heavy cream. The Purple Farmers, of course. You can put it on toast, bread, or fries. Suzette Bellefaux from our control room is saying that is Shelburne County right
That's
there.
the way to go.
She said that's the way to go.
The way.
The way, the truth, the light.
Of course, Elte says, I like my lobster when someone else shucks it for me.
Fair.
Hello. I buy it cooked, frozen. The knuckles, claws, and tails taste as good as fresh. Then I like it best cold, dipped in warm butter. Lobster sandwiches or lobster rolls are my second favorite.
Ooh, okay.
Love me a lobster roll, but I like a hot lobster roll.
Ooh, yeah, instead of a cold one.
Yeah.
Those are good, too. Mo from Bathurst, I usually eat lobster from a vacuum-sealed bag. McLean's Fish Shop sells it that way. No splashing, no mess, no complaints from my wife saying, when you cracked open the shell, you splashed me.
I love it.
Someone has always been there.
That's so funny. I like it.
And what are you going to have for dinner tonight now?
Lobster.
It's got to be lobster.
It's got to be lobster.
After that conversation?
To celebrate the long weekend, you know, you got to have lobster.
Oh, yeah. Kick it off.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Amanda, you have all the plans in the world this long weekend.
All the plans in the world.
All the plans in the world.
Oh, you want a list of the plans?
Yeah, I want to hear all about them.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go to a brunch with some girlfriends. Might see a movie. We also plan to go swimming at a neighbor's. Then also want to see the Tides game.
Okay.
That's starting off.
That's starting off.
Okay.
That's starting
Sounds
off.
like
How
a
about you,
jam-packed
ladies?
weekend.
Yeah, what about you? What are you and the kiddos up to?
It really depends on my children these days. They're toddlers, they're 2 years old, so it depends on how they wake up in the morning, what the weather's looking like. We'll see. Maybe some swimming, I'm hoping.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Very fun. I'm taking it easy for the most part. I am working the Tides game, so if y'all show up there, I'll see you there. But other than that, yeah, just kind of chilling and enjoying a relaxing long weekend. I was in Montreal last weekend, so this weekend is a nice reset. Probably do some laundry, a little deep clean, because it's not a great time at my apartment right now. It needs a bit of a clean.
Well, if you want to avoid it, you do the Natal Day road race in Dartmouth on Monday.
I could, but I tried to do some running exercises, which you guys will see on Tuesday when I visited the newest gym in Halifax, Anytime Fitness, and it didn't go so well. So I'll stick to lifting weights.
And that's a good reminder, too. We don't have a show on Monday. We are back on Tuesday at 6 a.m., so it is a long weekend for us as well. We hope you have a great Friday and long weekend, and we'll see you next month.
Oh my goodness.